Hello, Oregon. It's Deborah Brown. You might have heard I'm running for U.S. Senate. Let me introduce myself. I'm a Republican, a Christian, and a conservative. I've lived in Oregon for over 20 years. I spent 5 years in the Portland area, and I've also lived in Central Oregon and Eastern Oregon. So what will I do if you send me to Congress? Well, on my website, I've listed 30 goals that I will work very hard to achieve. Today, I would like to talk about 10 of those goals. First, I want to help you achieve the American dream. We need to reduce the cost of living, create more jobs, and we need to make home ownership more affordable. Second, I will work hard to improve your quality of life. We can do this by deporting all the illegals, reducing crime. We need to end sanctuary cities, and we need to solve the homeless crisis. Third, I will take actions to protect your rights. Your right to free speech, your right to fair elections, and your Second Amendment rights, your right to bear arms. So what is the number one issue that I will work on in Congress? Well, as you know, the cost of living is still too high. So reducing the cost of living will be my number one issue that I work on in Congress. You might be wondering, how can we do this? Well, one way is to cut taxes. Taxes are still too high. Congress recently passed some good tax cuts, but we still need to do more. So if you send me to Congress, I will be bold. I will propose a law to cut the federal income tax rate in half for individuals earning $150,000 a year or less, and married couples with a combined income of $300,000 or less. Is this possible? Well, President Trump has already talked about doing away with the federal income tax altogether. So here's what I say. Let's take a big, bold step in that direction. And let's do it sooner rather than later. This would have an immediate effect on the lives of many Oregonians. The withholding deductions on paychecks would substantially decrease, resulting in a larger paycheck. This would be an immediate benefit without even having to wait for a refund. If we can't reduce the cost of food and gas and other expenses, then we need to increase your income. We need to increase your take-home pay. But you might be asking, how can we pay for this? Well, I will propose that we use income from the tariffs to pay for it. President Trump has said that we're getting a substantial amount of income from the tariffs. Now, what are my qualifications? Well, I'm a civil engineer, and as an engineer, I will bring a lot of common sense to Congress. Engineers have to use common sense and logic in their work. Otherwise, that bridge and that building, they will fall down. Engineers also have great problem-solving skills. And as you know, we have a lot of problems to solve in Congress. I was also an auditor for 13 years, working with tax laws. So if you send me to Congress, I will bring my common sense, logic, my problem-solving skills, auditing skills, and my tax knowledge. As well as, I've also been a small business owner. I was a manager when I worked for the federal government, and I worked in education as a math and science teacher for 3 years. If you'd like to know more about my positions on other issues, you can visit my website at Deborah, that's Deborah, numeral 4, Senate.com. You can also Google Deborah Brown Senator, and my website should come right up. As you know, we desperately need a change in Oregon. We need to elect a Republican who can win in November. I believe that I'm the best candidate to run against Jeff Merkley and to win. I'd like to thank you for your time, and I would appreciate your vote.